Welcome to episode 17 of the Vada Studios podcast. With me today, I think can only be described as a indie legend from the band that's been around for over 30 years, had 2 number ones in 1 year and multiple top 40 hits. I welcome Mr. Rick Witter from Shed 7.
Hello, Matt. What a lovely introduction.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. I know, it's a pleasure.
30 plus years.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm only 28. How's that worked?
Well, you look good on it, sir.
Oh, thank
you
you
look
very
good
much.
on it.
Thank you.
It's been, you've been here for pretty much nearly a month making this new album.
We have, and it's been an amazing experience. Your gaff is so good.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, there's been areas of the gaff that you've explored and taken away my dignity.
Well,
I have to bring it up, don't I?
It's kind of like legally, I can't really say the word, but I've legally taken advantage of you massively, haven't I?
I've been utterly thrashed on the snooker table.
So it was your idea. You said to me when we arrived, let's do a first to 9
Tournament, yeah.
You said that to me.
I did.
And we're currently 8-0 to me, aren't we?
It is 8-0, yes, and you have one more frame just to fully bury me.
And we're here for 2 more days, so we could squeeze in that last one. Well, it could be 8-1 by this time tonight.
I've made a promise to you that it will be 8-1, but if...
Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. But it's been amazing having you here and making album 7, which I've obviously been lucky enough to have a bit of a sneak listen to, and it sounds incredible.
So we're all really excited about it. It feels like we're renewed, really. You know, our trajectory has been going up and up over the last few years, but it's like we are hitting our peak right now, and it's very exciting.
There's an excitement on this album. You can hear it. It feels like, you know what it's like with bands. When you've been in the business for a while and you've released multiple albums, every band gets to a point where it just becomes, it's a thing, isn't it? It's a job almost. And you don't have that excitement that you have as a young man when you make your first record, you know? And this has that in abundance, that excitement. It feels so vital and it's got a real energy to it.
Yeah, totally, all of that. And I think the fact that we've kind of been there and done it a lot in the past, we're kind of realising that this is important, you know. You're dead right. In the 90s, album 3, this is what we do, and this is what we have to do. And then it kind of stopped. And then you sat at home going, all right, so we did all of that, and now we can't do that anymore. So to have this second bite of the cherry is just really important for us. I mean, so over the past few years, we've had a couple of brand new studio albums, but we feel like it's been building up to this. Mm-hmm. I honestly believe that this album that we've recorded is probably going to be the best album we've ever done.
It's certainly my favourite that I've heard. There's so much. Everybody is showcasing themselves to their sort of maximum capability, I think, in a way. Like, Paul's guitars are unreal. Yeah. Or your vocals on this album seem just the best vocal performance I think I've ever heard of yours on record.
Thank you. Well, I mean, all of it, it's really important to care about what you're doing. Yeah. And I think it's important if people buy this record, when they listen to it and they're hearing it through the speakers, that they hear what we're pushing out, you know. Just obviously the performance side of it, but the lyrical content, the messages on it. There's a lot of stuff going on, and every song is kind of different from each other, but it's very us. So it's a journey. You know, we want to take people on a journey.
It's incredible. It's epic. There's some and as you say, it's very well flavoured and weighted. It's not a one-trick pony. There's not one dynamic going throughout. Yeah. It feels like a band that's travelled through it and come out on the other side and is telling the story of where they've been.
Right. Okay. So yes, I've not really thought of it like that, but yes, you are right. We've had experience. Yeah. And we know what we're doing. Yeah. And we just want to make sure what we are doing is the best we possibly can do. And again, Mr. Terry, this place is amazing. You know,
well, it's lovely to have you here. And what's been really nice is that obviously this is the third or fourth time you've been here.
Yes.
And so it's nice to have seen you feel so at home. I mean, during this album, you nipped over to Isle of Wight to go and do a gig.
Yeah, which was a bit of an inconvenience because you're in the studio zone and then suddenly you have to come out of that and become the performance zone. And it's difficult to do that, especially just for one gig and the travelling that's involved in that. But yeah, it is like our second home. Yeah,
it was lovely for you to come back from there and say, oh, it feels like coming home. But the way you did, you slid straight back into that studio mindset really, really well. Yeah. And it's nice. It's kind of like the studio was working in its maximum capacity for you, if you see what I mean. And
well, to be fair, as you said, we've been here for nearly a month. So it does become like your home. And, you know, it's difficult sometimes because it's hard work and there's a lot of hanging around waiting to do the next thing. And that's tiring. So what I get is tired, you know. But when you're removed from that and you have to go off and do something else and you're not going home at the end of that, you're coming back to the studio side of things, it's almost a bit Stockholm syndrome. You know, you want to come back and be tired again. Yeah. Because what you're doing is so good. It's very exciting. Very exciting.
So what would you say your favourite and least favourite parts of being in the studio are?
Well, I guess the hanging around, the waiting to do your bit, that's difficult.
Unless you've got me to beat at snooker.
Well, of course there is that. So the hanging around is great, actually, because I get to go and play snooker. But then obviously the joy of hearing what you've done at the end of the day is just amazing. Yeah. And you sit back and you go, wow. Because sometimes, you're doing your job, but you don't hear what you've done immediately. Yeah. And then maybe it's 2 or 3 days later where you're actually hearing what you did. And it's like, oh, wow, yeah, I forgot I did that. Yeah. But the joy of remembering that, hearing it and going, oh, wow, is just the biggest buzz, you know. And that's why it's so exciting, because we are creating something that is wow.
Yeah, very much so.
We should call the album Wow.
Can you remember the very first Shed 7 recording session that you did?
Well, we did a lot of demos in and around York, where we live, in little studios, you know. The first real studio we went to was Greenhouse in London.
Doesn't exist now, does it?
No, it doesn't. It burned down, I believe, which probably might be because we were there, I think. So yes, it's like anything. You build up to things. So the first time you played on the radio, it's an amazing moment. So, you know, wow, we're in a big studio and we're doing this. But as you say, it's not there anymore.
Do you remember it? Do you remember that session, or is it all a bit blurry?
Well, it's the 90s, and I don't really remember them.
Not many people do.
No. But yeah, I do remember. I mean, our debut album, if I listen to R.E.M. or U2's debut album, it's rough and ready, which I think is quite cool. And I think our debut album is very rough and ready. We didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't know, you know, you spend 4 years writing loads of songs, nobody's heard of you, and then suddenly you picked up, and it's right, get in there and do that. And it's like, well, we don't really know what we're doing. Yeah. So you're learning on your feet, really. Yeah. So it was really the second album, Maximum High, that we kind of, right, okay, we've been there, we've done that, we know what we're doing, and we need to do this to make it better, which is only right, really. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And that's what I mean about R.E.M. and U2. I can hear that when I hear their first recordings. You can hear the learning what they're doing. Yeah. And sometimes there's a real charm in that on debut records. Yeah. There's an innocence, isn't there? Yeah, totally that. Yeah. But to a certain degree, as an artist, I imagine you can probably look back and go, oh, that's a bit shit. Oh, I should have done that differently. Well, I can't listen to our first album because I sound about 12 on it.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Yeah. You know. But then you hear about bands that record a debut album and they don't think it's quite right, so they re-record it. But there's only so many acts that can do that. Yeah, we couldn't do that.
No, I mean...
There's not enough money in the budget.
the interesting thing about that is that this is also happening quite a lot recently. I mean, I'm about to do one because certain record labels hold on to the original and don't do anything with it. And so quite a few bands are re-recording debut albums so they can take control, kind of like and own the record back, because obviously they'll have the master rights, sort of like Taylor Swift did it, didn't she, because of the Scooter Braun thing. But there will never be the same magic as that innocent record that you start with, and it's capturing a time, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what it's all about.
It is.
I think there's an innocence to that could get lost in the space of time.
Yeah, definitely. So how long did this album take to write?
Right, so Paul usually comes up with the first musical idea, and then he'll throw it to me, and I'll sit at home and listen to it and try and put some melody on it, and then start thinking of some words to fit that melody. So as far as that point goes, probably about 9 months, which is unheard of for us. It usually takes a lot longer. But maybe Paul, before I'm hearing it, is a lot more work for him beforehand.
So Paul, on the demoing stage, Paul does all the technical side of it. He does the recording
so
of it,
he'll sit at home and he'll think of some kind of music, whether it be guitar, keyboard, piano. So he'll be there on his own doing that for a while, and then when he's happy with what he's thought of, he'll send it to me. So the point of me becoming involved, probably this album's taken 9 months, which is, as I say, it's kind of unheard of. We obviously found a little pocket and thought, right, we're going with this.
The interesting thing is that when you listen to this record, it sounds like the creators were massively inspired. It doesn't feel like anybody sat down and went, I've got to write another album, I'm going to need to think about this, or write a load of songs, scrap a load of songs.
Well, and more so because of what happened in 2024 with the 2 number ones. We could have sat on our laurels, we could have thought, right, well, let's have 5 years off and just dine out on that. But for some reason, it instilled in us some kind of real urge to capitalise on it.
An extra belief. There's this really sexy bravery on this new record that I really love. It's almost like you're not scared of anything.
Well, yeah, you're right. I've not thought of that, but yeah, you are right. It's like sod everybody.
It's a really exciting energy on that record that you've created.
And we're 53.
Are you?
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, what other bands who are 53 years old have got the passion and the inclination to want to do it?
Exactly.
You know, we feel like we're 22.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Which is ace.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And watching you guys work in the studio, it feels like an excited young band that are doing their first record.
Which is crazy, isn't it?
I love it. I love that. And
I mean, it is quite weird, really, but the sounds that we are creating and the messages in the songs, you know, a lot of thought goes into it. So we have a song called Lost in Space that we've just recorded, and we've got down to the finer details on it, where obviously there's a big outro and it's all a bit spacey, and we decided, well, let's have some Morse code on there. And the idea was just to have the Morse code sounds. But then we thought, well, that needs to actually make sense. So there is a message within that Morse code. So if anyone can read Morse code or hear Morse code, they'll be able to, they get their own personal message.
That's really cool.
So anybody who wants to know what that message is, they need to learn how to read Morse code.
Brilliant.
You know, that's how in depth we've gone with this.
Yeah, and that's really, I think, as you say again, with a band that's been around and had achieved the things that you've achieved, and you're at this point in your career, it's remarkable to have that degree of playful enthusiasm as well. You know,
it's just really important. What we've learned, maybe it's taken us longer than other acts, but what we've learned getting to our 50s is we're not here long, we've all gone, and what we want to leave is a big legacy. I want people to listen to this new set of songs in 50 years' time
and
still go, wow, that's what the album should be called.
Yeah, it keeps coming round to that, doesn't it?
Wow.
Or Snooker King.
Snooker King, that's a good one, yeah. 8-0.
8-0, that would make
Which is current. We need to finish this off, because it was your idea.
I know.
3.5 weeks ago, you said to me, should we do first to 9?
Glutton for punishment.
Fine.
Yeah, but for everybody who's watching...
And you just brought that up again.
Yeah, I know I did, because... Yeah, but you are very good. It's a worthy victory. It's a worthy victory. So, are there any songs that you really loved at the demo stage that haven't made the record?
No. So we're not that kind of band. I do hear a lot, bands will say, right, so we wrote 60 songs for this album and we've chose 12. Rubbish, you haven't written 60 songs. You might have a lot of ideas, but you haven't written 60 songs. We wrote 12 songs and that was it. Right, we're ready. We're going to go in the studio and record those 12 songs that we've written. So along the way, we might have ideas that we decide aren't good enough, but they're not fully formed songs. We never ever write a song fully and then just say, no, that's not good enough. Why would you do that? Why would you spend...
Have you always completed a whole song and then decided whether it's good enough?
No, we've written... So if Paul sends me a guitar hook and I put a melody on it, and then I start trying to write words to fit that melody, and then we get together to shape it out, if it's not working, what's the point? Just sack it off. So, we don't even really... We can't even write a new song and go, remember that middle 8 we wrote 8 years ago? That could fit this.
Yeah, right.
It's just gone. It's just gone. What's the point?
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of bands do that. They will rehash and they'll pull from old demos.
Yeah.
But not a thing you guys enjoy, obviously.
Well, we don't. We think that it wasn't good enough then, so why would it be good enough now?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the consistency on this record speaks for that, because it's...
Well, to be fair, so we did what I now call posh demos. So we spent an awful lot of time, me and Paul, in his music room, in his house, creating what has now become a posh demo. So when I remember so many occasions where I'm in his music room and I'm singing a vocal take, and we know it's only a demo, and it's almost as we're writing it, we're putting it down so we don't forget it. But hair's sticking up on my arms. Wow, wow.
The fizz.
And that's just the demo. So coming here and recreating it and adding bits, it's wow.
You were saying to me the other day that you've actually used, I think Paul was telling me, that some of the bits, the components from the demos... We have. You've brought them in onto the record.
Because why try and recreate a sound that just sounds brilliant? You can spend hours in here trying to recreate something that happened by accident, and they're often the best bits, the accidents, And on top of that, when you come somewhere like here, and you know what you're going to do, and then other accidents happen, which adds to the accidents, and then you've just got a massive wow.
Yeah. Wow. So have you got a favourite song on this album yet?
Right, so we're doing 12 songs, and I think all 12 are just Ace.
Right.
Okay.
So literally you don't have a favourite?
Well, they're all my babies.
Yeah. You haven't got favourite kids?
Yeah, that. But on top of that, every song, it's difficult right now because we've not finished it. So we're bringing up the mixes, and I'm being reminded of what we did 2.5 weeks ago, and I'm going, wow. So every song has that element in it. I mean, I could say there's a song called The Centre of My Everything, which is just big. It's difficult to explain. People need to hear it. Lost in Space. My daughter sings on that, which is such a moment.
That was really cool.
So when me and Paul wrote that song, the chorus has this line in it, and when I was writing the melody, I'm thinking that would be good if a female voice was doing that. And then we kind of did the demo, and almost sacked that idea off. And then my daughter, she's 17, she's started to sing, and she keeps sending me little phone things that she, singing into a phone. I'm thinking, what a lovely voice. And then because it was a 17th birthday while we've been here, she came to visit, and we just try this line out, and just amazing. So she's on there, which is so good.
Yeah, that's really special.
Father and daughter. And then weirdly, me and Paul discovered the first song we ever wrote when we were about 12. It was called Creature of Dreams, and it was basically a Casio keyboard demonstration button, but with me singing when I'm 12 over the top of it, our first ever song. And that's on that song as well. So there's me now, me as a 12-year-old, and my daughter on it.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah, that, you just said it, wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
That's what this is.
Yeah. That's really special.
It's incredible. It's
I
crazy.
didn't realise you and Paul had been working together since you were 12.
Well, yeah, we met at first year at school, so we were 11 when we met. And then when we were 12, we thought, why don't we form a band? And we started writing. Obviously then it's not brilliant, but we still have that first demo.
That's so cool.
Obviously in a loft for years and years and years, and we discovered it. So
Whose
to hear
in?
me as a 12-year-old kid singing was weird, but now we've put it on our new record, which is just crazy, isn't it?
That is so cool.
So if I remember back being 12 in Paul Banks's bedroom, learning how to be musicians, if I was told then, imagine album 7 when you're 53, this voice will be on that. It's like, what?
It's kind of ironic that you said that you can't listen to the first album because your voice sounds so young, and yet you put a 12-year-old you on the new album.
There's a difference between being 12 and 17 or 18 or 19. There's a big difference there, because not many 12-year-olds would even have the balls to do that. No,
right. Can you remember that day? Can you envisage being in Paul's room when you did it?
I can totally remember me and Paul spending our 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old selves walking between each other's houses and creating music. I can totally remember that. I mean, we used to design record covers for the songs that we've not written yet.
I love that.
Down to the barcode. We'd actually draw the barcode and put numbers under it. That's the detail that we went, and that's when we were like 13.
You were destined to do this, weren't you?
Well, I remember doing newspaper rounds and milk rounds and listening to U2, listening to the Joshua Tree, thinking, I am going to be Bono.
Yeah.
And now I am Bono. No, I'm not Bono, I'm Rick Witter.
You're Rick Witter, snooker player and part-time singer.
I wonder if Bono could beat you 8-0 at snooker. Please, Bono, if you're listening, please come here to Vada Studios and challenge Matt Terry to a 1st to 9 at snooker.
I had so much more confidence as a human before I met you.
Listen, you started it.
And you finished it.
And I am about to finish it.
So, I mean, this album, there's already, you're giving me a sense of like 1,000,001 reasons as to why it was special. Can you pinpoint a moment making this record that was one of the most special moments, would you think?
No, I think it's a build-up. Like anything, you build up to things. I think maybe halfway through, we know that we're on a run, but it's like I've been saying, it's wow moments, and every song that we're recording, there's a wow moment in there. And I just hope that translates to the general public. And I think it will, because we are very lucky. We've got a really good, strong fan base that just loves Shed 7. So we know that whatever we write, we've got those guys. They're going to like it. But I think with this album, it's next level.
I think a whole scene of people are going to get this album. There's every single time I've come in, for me, I've had the wow moment. Every time I've popped my head around the door, I've heard something and gone, fucking hell, this is beautiful, or this is banging, or what a riff.
So
or,
there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And there's so many moments, and it's not just a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
The album tells a story, it curves, and and it's very exciting for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait to. I mean, I can't physically see anybody disagreeing with the fact that this is probably your greatest album.
Well, so me and Paul wrote it, and I agree with you. 8-0, cheers.
Yeah. So what would you say the fundamental difference is in mindset for this album and the last album? I mean, obviously the last album, you'd also had a number one.
Yeah, but we didn't know that was going to happen when we were recording it.
Yeah.
We'd never had a number one until that moment, and we've been doing this a long time. And it's not about number ones, it's about leaving something, like I said earlier, On Purpose, our very first single, which was called Mark, and it's not about a fella called Mark, it's about leaving your mark. And On Purpose, I wanted that to be our first ever committed song on vinyl, because from a very early age, I just wanted to record and release music. And even then, recording our debut album, I wanted to leave my mark forever. And for me, that is committing something to a bit of plastic that people put a needle on it and listen to it. So if we'd have only ever released one song ever, it had to be that song, I've left my mark forever, because that's what it says in the lyrics.
Yeah.
So to still be doing it so long afterwards, and perhaps now putting more care and attention into it than ever, it's just ace. I just love it.
This feels like a really complete body of work. It's the accumulation of all those years.
Listen, the barcode is going to be amazing.
Did you design that back in what, 1980?
Yeah, I think the barcode to album 7 was created in 1988.
Right, like that. And you've already got the artwork sorted.
Yeah, and again, that's important. We've had discussions about the artwork. Should we be on the front cover? I wasn't a big fan of being on the front cover this time, but we did a photo shoot, and there's a particular image that works. So it's kind of, we're on there, but we're not.
Right.
But even that's important. It's all really important, all of it. The barcode is dead important.
And the bottom line snooker line of 9-0 that's probably going to happen.
Well, so it's up to you that, Matt Terry. It's 8-0, first to 9. We're going tomorrow. We've got about 48 hours left here. So we could do an intense session where you win 9 in a row, or I just win 1 and game over.
I think the latter is where we're at.
Is that your mindset?
Yeah, well, no,
that's not the sign of somebody who wants this.
It's the sign that someone that's been playing snooker against someone for 3.5 weeks and consistently losing.
But I have been quite spawny as well, Anna. I've been very lucky.
Your luck is pretty ridiculous, but you also have played well.
That's the game.
And I admit a gentleman's defeat. You know what I mean? It's been amazing having you on the podcast. Thank you so much for talking about this record.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm going to miss you guys. It's been really lovely having you here at the studio.
What? We're going to go away, release this at some point later this year, and once it's out, the thing is with albums, it's funny, because I will now really love the next few months, knowing we've recorded something and we've got it in our pocket and nobody's heard it. I love that. As soon as we release it, it's not ours anymore, it's everybody else's. And that's the point where I'll be thinking, right, we need to start the next one, which is hard work. So I'm going to love this next few months of knowing we've got something in the bag.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in 2 years doing this again.
And we'll have another
let's do a
snooker
best
tournament.
of 18 next time.
Yeah, we should. And I'm going to go and get some lessons.
Do you want me to teach you?
Yeah, I would actually. Brilliant. Rick, thank you so much, mate.
Thank you, Matt.